And now it's time for another episode of New to Me. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and today we are looking at the GVM 520LS-B. This is the great video maker panel I've been seeing all over Amazon. I was very curious about it, so I bought it with my own money. I'm not being paid to say this, wasn't given this, so let's jump into what I thought. Now, this is a $128 panel. It has 520 bicolor bulbs from 3200 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin, and it has a CRI that is greater than 97, so it is a beautiful color. It has 70,000 hours of bulb life. It is a 15 by 14 by 4 inch panel. It is 4.5 ounces, so it is heavy, and it has 30 watts of power. It is a DC 15 volt, so it's good to have inside. Now, this thing is made of high quality solid aluminum. It is solid. I can't reiterate how solid this thing feels. It's got a great Y yoke that spins around 360 degrees, and the knobs just work beautifully. Now, one thing I will say is I wish there was some kind of ball head on the bottom so I could kind of spin the light down here individually, but you put it on a C-stand and you loosen this up just slightly and it rolls around very nicely. Now, one thing I will say is you have to have a C-stand or something that has a flat top. It can't have a 1/4-20 extension, otherwise this thing will wobble around. Now, looking at the front here, it has a frosted diffusion, and the frosted diffusion is very loose inside here. It does have these feet up top which pop out to keep it in place, and there are 2 levels that the feet come out. I guess that's for either putting more diffusion or gels or something in front. It's a little strange, and they're not the best made feet here. Also, the diffusion is very thin, but most diffusion is. And I find that I have to actually bend the diffusion a little bit in order to get the foot out, so the diffusion piece is not cut right on this particular model. I don't know if that's true for all models, but it is true for this one. Now, swinging around the back here, we have Sony MP batteries. I have a ton of these. I know you have a ton of these, so this is actually great. I'm very excited. It has a plastic back, which is fine. It's a very strong plastic. Has beautiful readouts, tells you your power level, and it tells you your temperature. It has these great knobs. These knobs are plastic, but they're very sensitive, so you have to be real careful when you're trying to hit a certain temperature or a certain power. It has the double on-off button, and it has a D-tap connector. So if you have a V-mount battery, you can run a D-tap into here and power on a V-mount. Unfortunately, there's no place to fasten the V-mount onto the unit, so you'll have to hang it on the light stand or attach it to something else. Now, I will say it has this very interesting heat sink design, although I'm not sure this thing could ever get that hot, but it does have a heat sink design, and it's just very, very cool. The batteries also, I just pull off. I wish that there was a locking and release system, but they just kind of slide on. I use the medium-sized ones. If you try to use the really, really large ones, they have a tendency to fall off and crack. But this is really, really, really nice. So here are my final thoughts on the GMV 520LS-B. For $128, it is a very good studio light. From the U-shaped bracket design to the custom heatsink on the back, this panel does exactly what a panel is supposed to do. Now, this is not a panel that you're going to be taking on the road with you to a wedding or an interview because it is very heavy and it is very clunky to travel with. It does come with this fantastic case, but this is really an in-studio light. Whether it's on a C-stand or you're hanging it from the wall, the GMV 520LS-B is a great panel to have in your arsenal of lights. And the time has come for our episode to end. I hope this helped you, and if you have any questions or comments, you can of course always leave them in the notes below. And be sure to show us some love by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. And if you want to know when we're releasing brand new videos, well, that's going to be every other Tuesday, so hit that bell button and be notified. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and this is new to me.